End effector tools are used for performing work on parts. There are a multitude of tools used in conjunction with industrial robots, with the primary types including welding guns, paint spray nozzles, and various machining tools. Welding guns mounted on the wrist of a robot offer numerous advantages over manually held welding guns or welding with fixed automation. These advantages include increased welding speed and relief from the harsh welding environment for the human welder. Robotic welding can provide dexterity, consistency, and flexibility to an operation while typically improving weld quality and ultimately end product quality. Robots are used extensively for both arc welding and spot welding operations and are an integral part of most high-production, high-quality welding installations, including automotive assembly lines,
Come with me, Wallace, to a windswept beach in Holland. Because this is home to an incredible creature that only needs a slight breeze to spring into life.
My name is Theo Janssen. We're here in Ypenburg in Holland, where I work every day. And here I try to make new forms of life, which keeps me busy 24 hours a day. And I want to put those out on the beaches where they can live in the future. And they don't have to eat because they get their energy from the wind.
Theo's been making his creatures for over 20 years, and he's evolving such clever designs that one day he hopes they'll be able to leave home and live permanently in the Dutch sand dunes. Incredibly, his animal-like creatures are only made from PVC. Getting them to walk smoothly was the first step, but his animals still needed their creator to get them going. He had to pull his first creatures up into the wind before they could scuttle back up the beach. But Theo didn't want to always have to pull his offspring up the beach, so the next generation got a propeller. And then, to give them more running power, he borrowed nature's best wind design ever and gave them wings. Through hours of experimenting and trial and error, Theo's designs are becoming more and more independent.
What I've found about this experience of making new forms of life is that you discover all the problems which the real creator must have had creating this world. These animals will survive on their own, just like you raise your children and then there comes a day that you can kick them out of the door and that they live their own lives. Hopefully at the end of my life they will survive a lot better than they do now. Then I could die quietly knowing that I will live on for the beaches, on the beaches.
Robot jelly is an artificial biomimetic jellyfish, which means that a robot that looks like the real jellyfish. It is constructed with smart materials and structures that are useful to function just like the artificial muscle. It uses hydrogen and oxygen as a fuel source rather than electricity. This kind of system that uses this power supply doesn't adversely affect the environment. So they produce water vapor as a byproduct. Because nature is the most efficient way, the structure, the appearance, and everything adapts to the environment, and because that is the optimum, I could say. Jellyfish has less predators in the ocean, and the swimming mechanism is simple. One of the things and the exciting thing about this robot jelly is for pollution detection, for instance, in the ocean.
This way of finding energy has attracted the attention of engineers. What if robots could do the same? But we needn't fear for our children and pets just yet. EcoBot can't match skills honed by millions of years of evolution. But it does get its energy in the same way, by digesting flies. It can't catch them yet, though the next version will. It has to be fed dead flies, which are digested in a special microbial fuel cell. This uses chemical energy, driven by bacteria decomposing the fly, to produce a trickle of electricity. But even after a hearty meal of flies, it doesn't produce much electricity. EcoBot has to sit for several minutes digesting its meal before it's stored enough energy to move a couple of centimeters. And that's it, until it's digested a bit more fly. But the system does work. EcoBot has been programmed to move towards a light source and to take a few test measurements on the way. Over 20 minutes or so, it covers a couple of meters, all on nothing more than a lunch of flies. In ecological terms, EcoBot is a predator. But nature's food chain starts much lower down. And it's here that bio-inspired thinking might hold the key. Not just to self-refueling robots, but to how we make and use energy.